Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show, your daily fix of football chat here on STV. The main talking points tonight: Dundee United looks set for the Championship and the chairman is not a happy man. Hibs and Rangers book their place in the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup, and Celtic sign a Norwegian midfielder on a 4-year deal. Just a few of the topics we'll be discussing tonight. Alan Ruff is alongside me, Peter Martin, and I'm delighted to tell you our boot-room guest is none other than the Morton legend Andy Ritchie. So we've got a great packed programme for you. Certainly I'm going to enjoy it. Let's cut to the chase first of all, Ruffy, because I fear on this programme you're about to defend the indefensible. So before we get to it, Dundee United 0, Motherwell 3, they look doomed.
Yes, they certainly do, but in football you have to believe. You have to believe if there's points available to be won, there is a chance of you winning. I think the manner of the defeat last night, that's why the chairman's come out with the statement he's come out with. So it's up to the players to knuckle down. We heard Darren Jackson yesterday saying that he believes that there are players there with the ability to dig themselves out of a hole, but it's up to the players. It doesn't look good at all,
Yeah.
but I'm still hanging in there.
Come on, they're gone, Ruffy.
No, I never believed in playing with Partick Thistle for a long time and being down at the bottom of the table for a long time. You always believe that you're capable enough and you've got players, and when there's points available to be won, you've got to believe.
Okay, don't forget you can interact with us on Twitter at Peter and Ruffy and on Facebook.com/Peter and Ruffy. You can give us your comment. Has Ruffy lost his marbles? We should do a poll on it right now. But let's cut to the chase. The only way Dundee United would escape is if they manage to get our guest on a free at his absolute peak in Andy Ritchie. Andy Ritchie, are they gone?
Well, I'll disagree with Ruffy right away. Yeah, they're gone. And I played with Morton for a long time. Similar circumstances to Big Ruffy, down the bottom of the league. And if it was a boxing match, they would stop it now. I don't think there would be any chance.
Yeah, and here's the statement, and this is the interesting part of this. Don't forget, next week we'll have the Peter and Andy Ritchie show, which is basically just someone with a steadfast opinion on this. But here's Stephen Thompson, the Dundee United chairman. Make of this what you will. As chairman of the club, I'd like to apologise to all Dundee United supporters for the abysmal performance last night against Motherwell. The current position at the bottom of the Ladbrokes Premiership is wholly unacceptable. It is not where Dundee United should be under any circumstance. The board and myself have made certain decisions in the last 18 months which in hindsight were incorrect, but were made for the greater good of the club and with the ambition of maintaining our position at the top of Scottish football, something we have done successfully for the last 8 years. This included supporting a playing squad that commands the third highest wage bill in the Ladbrokes Premiership. However, we have failed miserably on the pitch with only 3 wins in 25 league matches and an early exit from the League Cup. Performances such as last night simply cannot be tolerated. The current playing squad now have 13 matches to preserve the club's Premiership status and redeem their own professional reputations. Now, that's off the back of earlier in the season. I think he had a real dig at the previous manager as well, Ruffy.
Yeah, I would like to think that he's holding his hands up and coming out and telling the fans that he's more than partly to blame with the circumstances of where Dundee United are just now. I think everybody knows to a man, if he hadn't sold the players that he'd sold all at the one time, they wouldn't be in the position they're in. So I have to say, whoever was making the financial decisions, and I have to say that must have been him, then he's to blame for where they are just now.
Yeah, more often than not, I think, to be fair to all parties here, it's a collective. Chairman and the manager have to be joined at the hip at times on these things. There will be disagreements, but they have surely the greater good of the club at heart. They made poor decisions and it's come back to bite them in the back end.
Yeah, that's the way it's worked out. And I think that statement that the chairman's put in is a relatively honest statement on his behalf as well. He said, well, we have made mistakes board level and himself, but at the end of the day it's down to what we put out in the park. They've spent money, obviously, when he's mentioned his wage structure as well, to help that along the road, and the players have let themselves and let the fans let the club down as well. So it's a mixture of everything. Nothing comes along alone like that in football. I think the break-up with the previous management team didn't help as well. Mixu came in and inherited a squad that more or less he was told by people at Dundee United that didn't have the bottle for a battle. And he knew that right from the start. He's not been able to do much during the transfer window then, so it's very much of a muchness to them, you know, but it's not unexpected. They've only won 3 out of 25 this season. I can't see them winning the last 10 out of 13. So I think they'll be preparing quite soon for First Division next season, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Mixu Patalainen's next few games. Ruffy, Hearts, Ross County, Aberdeen and Motherwell. There's the predicament in the table. Mixu, it's not over. We don't give up. We just concentrate on getting ready for Saturday. Of course, it's a long road. Can you see points from those next 4 games?
It's not particularly the points from the 4 games. I think obviously they have to keep a hold of the nearest person. If they win their next game, they're 10 points behind Kilmarnock. I think they've got to eat away at that and hope Kilmarnock go on the same run that they've went on. But the bottom line is they need to win games. You know, it's up to the players. If they don't win games, they deserve to be relegated. OK, let's put that to bed. Let's go Scottish Cup. We were there at Easter Road. It was a fantastic atmosphere. It was back to the old halcyon days of football. People struggling to get a ticket. The place packed to the rafters. And blood, guts and thunder. Not really. I think I spotted Roy Keane in the stand. He must have been wondering what type of game he was watching. Yeah, it was fantastic spectacle. The stadium full, which I think always helps a game. You know, the atmosphere in it. It's one of the reasons why I don't really want Dundee United to go down. We need every derby we can get. It just put Scottish football back on the map again. But yeah, the first half was all about Hibs, high-profile game, great pace, great ability from everywhere. Couldn't do it for 90 minutes. That's why Hearts come back into the game with their power. And I have to be honest that Hibs hung on in the end. I mean, I think Hearts for a long part of it huffed and puffed, put good quality balls into the box, but just didn't have the quality in the end of it. And in the end, I thought Darren McGregor was a man of the match for me. I think he was a tower of strength at the back. And I think over the whole 90 minutes, I think Hibs just shaded it. Yeah,
here's Alan Stubbs' take on the match.
I thought it was a close game, which I said it was going to be. You know, 2 good teams, but I think when you look at it, I think we've created the clearer chances in the game. And I knew there was going to be times where we would be under pressure. They're a good team. You know, there's no denying that. We've just beat the 3rd best team in the country at this moment in time.
Thankfully, it wasn't a game spoiled by the referee in the end. There was a few dodgy decisions, but it was a strange game because it's the least impressed I've been with Hearts. I thought they were more Route 1 than anything else. Hibs wanted to play the football, and they've got players in there, Andy, like John McGinn, who clearly like to get that ball in the deck.
Yeah, he's a fine wee player. I watched him many times at St Mirren, and he's also done very well for he went to Easter Road. Good player, but there were other good players in amongst it as well. McGeouch's a good player. Lad Henderson that they brought down as well. Adding Anthony Stokes to that, Anthony Stokes will be a class act in the First Division in these games, and Cummings up front, so they're a very useful team. But I think the template was set down last night with the game previous. Hearts had the previous game 45 minutes when they played Hibs off the park, 2-0 up, and Hibs showed the necessary desire and commitment to come back through and get that draw, to take that game last night. And I was expecting a humdinger last night. I was sorry I couldn't get to the game, and I was even sorrier when we found that we couldn't watch it on television. The decisions made about some other competition that was on the go last night, Peter. Yeah. So I missed out in the game, but by all accounts, I think it's been a good game. 20,000 people. You know, that's what it's all about. These Edinburgh derbies, and hopefully the Glasgow derbies will be back on again next season. These are the games we need. They give the added interest, the added spice and entertainment to our game up here. And we've sadly missed him for a while now. Yeah, absolutely. Darren McGregor's just delighted that he's playing for his boyhood heroes. This was his take on the game.
As I was saying just there to Paul Hanlon, they used to come in and I used to serve them their G-Star jeans and their replay jeans. So to be 5 and 6 years on, actually playing in a derby, being part of a team that I've supported, beating their rivals, again, I can't put it into words. It really is just a dream come true, and I'm thankful that I've been given this opportunity.
So it was the top game in his career. The fact that he's wearing a jersey of the team he supported. He used to sell jeans to some of the players, Ruffy. That's dream come true stuff.
Well, that's boyhood dreams, you know, that when you've supported a club for a long while and then you get a chance to play for them. As I said, I thought he was immense last night. I think he's benefited from being with Rangers for that time that he was there. I think he's a better player, a centre-half with a bit of skill. Still can't believe Rangers let him go.
Yeah, just on one other little thing, I'm not having... I don't like players getting booked for celebrating, but as soon as he get booked early on, I knew Cummings was for the off. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, I've said it all along. I mean, I don't want to be a spoil sport. I think supporters should celebrate, but not in front of visiting fans.
Okay, there you are. Ruffy just putting a real killjoy on the first half of the programme as well. I'm sure Andy celebrated more than a few goals. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's football show. Alan Ruff is alongside me. Peter Martin, our boot-room guest, is Morton legend Andy Ritchie. We're talking cup football, and it's Rangers who are into the quarter-finals. They'll play either Dundee or Dumbarton in that match, and here's the fixtures that we can all look forward to. Still waiting on Dundee and Dumbarton to resolve their previous round, but Rangers will play the winner of that. It's Ross County Dundee United, Celtic against Morton, and Hibs against Inverness Cally Thistle. Before we get Andy's thoughts on Celtic against Morton, Ruffy, Rangers in the end, the goal to win it from Nicky Clark was a peach. Lovely ball, and he just moved quickly to the 6-yard area and finished with aplomb.
Yeah, the typical striker, just stealing that wee half yard, you know, and got in front, and it was a super finish. And it's good for the boy because he's went in there not being a regular. Obviously, they brought Wycorn in, and when you're in the sidelines for a while, you've got to come on and prove yourself, and he has. And it was a super goal. It looks as if he might get more game time with Wycorn being injured. We'll have to wait and see what the extent of that is.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Stubbs highlighted last night as well, Andy, that Rangers and Hibs, two teams that we need in the top division, you know, because huge crowds, and of course I think Rangers highlighted again that they're progressing, they're at the top of the table, and they can take the scalps of many a Premiership team.
Yeah, well, there's improvement there, but overall for the league needs the Edinburgh derbies, the Glasgow derbies, and also the big games and the big crowds that come along with that, you know. So they'd be a great acquisition. Again, going back to it, the Dundee United loss will be big to them as well, you know. And obviously, somebody else would need to drop out if it was Rangers and Hibs that were coming up for the Championship. But yeah, great acquisitions for it.
Yeah, it's a good win for Rangers, Ruffy, because I felt as if maybe Kelly would have thought they were favourites. Home, artificial surface, the team a league above.
Yeah, I think Rangers would have went with the belief that the chances they had at Ibrox, if they converted most of them, they'd have won that game quite comfortably. So I think they would have. The AstroTurf might have been the thing in the back of their mind, but in saying that, you know, that they got the goal at the right time when there was no comeback, and certainly the teams that are left in it, it's going to be some right good games in the quarter-final.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Ruffy, we have a wee bet on Wycorn. You say he'll score 40. I said that he wouldn't. Probably he'll score 39. But I certainly didn't want to win the bet on the basis of an injury to the boy. I think that's going to be a huge blow. I mean, he's still, for me, you know, up there as Championship Player of the Year. Yeah,
he's certainly up there. I mean, obviously he's not been playing as a direct striker recently. He's been playing wide, but still coming in with the goals. We'll have to wait and see the extent of his injury. Yep, you don't want any player out for a long time, particularly at the crucial part of the season. That he would have been a big player for them, and certainly with him dropping out, I know Kenny Miller's there, Nicky Clark's been in and out, so he's going to be a massive loss if he's out for the rest of the season.
Can they win it?
Who?
Rangers? The Scottish Cup?
No, I don't think so. I think on their day they're very, very good. I think the consistency is still to be there, as we saw last week in a game against Alloa. But on the day they've got players that can win games. I just think some of the teams that are left in there might be just too strong for them. But I'm sure they'll be there or thereabouts. Yeah.
What do you make of your old side, Andy? They've got Celtic in the quarter-finals. Jim Duffy, you know, an old head, great experience. And I think they'll be more than happy with where they are in the league, obviously, still with a shout of maybe even the playoff outside chance.
Yeah, they've still got an outside chance, but Duff, an old teammate of myself, I saw them last year coming up out of that division, and they had to improve, obviously, to keep their Championship place. They've done that. Duff's improved the team, month on month. They've had some spanking results, beat Motherwell League Cup, put Motherwell out of the League Cup. They were really looking, I would imagine, Morton to stay in the Championship this year, to consolidate, and that's been matched and above by Jim and the boys this season. So, and they also have previous visits to Celtic Park, and I'm sure there'll be a lot said about that. I think they put Celtic out of the League Cup last year or the year before.
Dougie Emery.
Dougie Emery. So, you know, they'll be going there, and the chairman will be rubbing his hands, I'm sure, you know, hoping for a beautiful day and a very large crowd at Celtic Park.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great game for them, Ruffy, and I've been impressed with the way they've been playing this season.
Yeah, well, as Andy said, they've upped their game, and the confidence will be there going to Celtic Park. And again, you have to say with Celtic with home advantage, they should win it, but I'm sure Morton will have something to say about that. Yeah,
it's obviously takes us back all those years ago when Andy was breaking into the Celtic side. Suddenly it's a 17-year-old, this time Kristoffer Ajer, a Norwegian midfielder they've signed in a 4-year deal. He'll join in the summer, Ruffy. So again, Celtic continue this policy, looking for those one for the future players.
Yeah, he's been identified, obviously. They've had him over on trial, they've had a look at him, and obviously whatever they've saw, they've believed that he is one for the future. Unfortunately for Ronnie Delvey at this particular time, the supporters aren't looking at the future, they're looking at the now, and it's that player's not going to help them in what he's trying to achieve for this season. So I'm sure he will in 4 years' time, but Celtic want it now. Yeah,
just before, and obviously we're going to get the chance to sit down with you and talk about your Morton career in a Legends special a little later on in the year, Andy, but are players like you a dying breed or almost extinct? Almost extinct, yeah, I would think so now. I don't see very many now, but the system and the way the game's played now dictates it. It's more important to be part of the system than to be a little bit out of left field. We need more players in the country now, more of the young players to come through and play. I watched a couple of weeks ago James McFadden play across at Motherwell, and I was thinking to myself, James has probably been the last one that, you know, I would have put that tag on. He spent a good career down in the Premiership, but you know, he was a bit of a maverick as well, and you know, played the game the way James thought it should be played. Similar to myself and many others, Chick Charnley and these boys that come through. But there was a place for us in the game there. Yeah. I don't think there's that place now.
But I have to say, I saw Ibrahimovic trying your back heel last night, so he's still copying some of your stuff.
Yeah,
I've got copyright for that. I hope it sends me a check.
Yeah, well, I mean, on that point, Ruffy, that's the thing about it. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, okay, winning seems to be everything. There's financial rewards. We all know about that, but I still think fans want to go away. We were talking about in defence of Nathan Adua when he was trying that little bit of skill. When you talk about fans and they think, you know, I think Lubomir Moravcik trapped the ball with his backside one day at Celtic Park. People go away, they talk about that. Davy Cooper, you know, could come up with, I think I watched him in a Dryborough Cup final score one of the best goals I've seen in an Old Firm game. Those are the things that fans talk about. They remember them, the Matt Letizier's, the Tony Currys.
It's down to the individual, Peter. You know, at the end of the day, the individual's got to have the ability and the confidence to do these things. You know, there's a lot of people will knock you down when they don't happen, but when it happens, it's beautiful to watch. It's a sight to behold. But you've got to have the confidence to continue to do that, the confidence in yourself to be able to achieve that. And too many young players now get that knocked out of them too early. You've got to conform now, and if you don't conform, you don't play. So if you don't play, you never know how good you're ever going to be.
And can I ask you this before, because I think it's vital with Ruffy here. We may as well take the opportunity. When you were a player and you knew the skill that you had and the ability that you had, did you ever walk onto the park wearing the Morton strip and think, it's Ruffy today, I fancy it?
Yeah, Ruffy was my agent for a couple of years, you know, so that helped as well. Done a great deal for Ruffy's career as well. But the big fella went to World Cups, played in cup finals, he had a couple of moves, he put a few bob in the bank, Peter, as he'll so rightly tell you. So he didn't do too bad for himself, that big fella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I used to be a bit, when you used to go to Capello, Andy had the knack of shooting for the halfway line right at the start of the game, but and most goalkeepers walk about the 18-yard line not thinking it's going to happen. I was on that 6-yard line waiting in that shot coming right at the very start of the game, so I was on my toes.
Yeah, I done wonders for Scottish goalkeepers at that time.
Yeah.
They loved them down in England. loved him.
Yeah, and you, listen, I think you chipped an England goalkeeper before as well, Peter Bonetti.
Peter Bonetti got the chip from the halfway line as well, you know.
Yeah.
But he'd just come up for England at that time, so he didn't know any better. But Ruffy should have knew a wee bit better.
Well, I was going to say to you, another thing about it is, Andy, you were doing it long before David Beckham, but just nobody would buy your chain of underwear that you were modelling. I wonder why. just on the last point, Ruffy, before we finish, the SPFL have now got a deal to get the football out to over 100 countries. I can see where they're going with that. They want to try and give clubs a chance to promote their brand.
Yeah, you have to sell the game, you know, and it's something we've been short of for a long, long time, you know. So it'd be good. You go abroad and you see all these different countries with different strips on. Liverpool, Man United. Who's to say they won't be wearing Morton strips in the Far East soon?
Yeah.
Me and you would have been big in Uzbekistan, Ruffy.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's no doubt
really
about
big.
that. Yeah, you're big in Uzbekistan now. Let me tell you, it's been an absolute joy. If you're a youngster, if you're under the age of 40, 50, why don't you get on YouTube and just put in Andy Ritchie against Alan Rough. It's an absolute joy to watch it just one more time to see the genius of this man. Thanks to Andy for being our guest. Thanks for watching.